was just a girl. Honeysuckle waves flowing down my back, prancing through daffodils with my mind up in the clouds, prancing and dancing and playing in circles, ring around the rosy. I was just a girl with galaxies in her eyes and dirty snap-up shoes, mud pie-covered hands and butterflies in my tummy, splashing and dancing and running home for supper, pocket full of posy. I was just a girl, flushed cheeks and clammy palms in a sea of children-filled seats, all focused, all understanding, hands stretched to the sky, bright eyes filled with anticipation, while I was drowning, splashing and gasping and yearning for at least one helping hand. Like ashes, I crumbled down. I was just a young lady, fighting with white sheets in the wind. A dark-haired angel with blue eyes drops off the paper that morning. He asks me how I feel about the headline. I tell him that reading isn't for me. His disapproving scowl and ridiculing cackles still haunt me to this day. I was just a young lady, out to lunch with mother on a warm sunny day. The waitress, small and frail with brown frizzy hair, handed us a paper. It was covered in lines and dots that I didn't understand. My anxious eyes found my mother's and she said to me, "Simmer down, my dear. You needn't worry about silly things like reading the menu, when you always have someone around to help you." I was just a woman surrounded by ghosts and dusty shelves. This empty room, my empty room, was itching to be filled with things of my own. When the landlord asked if I understood the contract, I told him I couldn't read. He said, "Don't go telling people that, my dear. You'll be ridiculed and taken advantage of." Those words have guided me to this day. I was just a woman running on empty and looking for work. I could work hard. I knew how to use my hands, and I always did as I was told. After being offered the job at Siemens, I was given a book. The book was filled with guidelines and instructions so I could be prepared. I told them I was already prepared for anything. I couldn't have been more wrong. I didn't know that in this book were warnings. Warnings that stated the intensity and moral conflict that came with the matching blazer and skirt. Warnings that would have said, "Hanna, you're about to do the unthinkable." I didn't know that dodging a paperwork, printing, and processing promotion would toss me among mothers and daughters on the brink of death. Walking bones and sullen faces were all I saw. I wanted to help, but this was my job. This was all I had. Books. Books could save them, if only for a little while. They could recite words to me and get lost within a story. I could help them forget their empty stomachs and stolen homes. Make their days a little easier. They told us to take the women away and guard them. We had to guard them. They warned us of uprisings and guards being beaten, guards being hurt with their own weapons. They also told us of guards who survived those uprisings. Those guards were at fault and, of course, punished. Executed. That would not be us. That could not be us. We had to guard them. That night, we found them at church. They were downtrodden and starving. We couldn't set them free, but we could give them shelter and a break. Until hellfires rained from the sky, screams pierced through the walls, flames flickered through the sheets of snow being violently blown in the wind. We were so far away. We were so scared. What could we have done? I didn't know. I didn't know that my orders were wrong. I never questioned them. I should have questioned them. I didn't want these women to have a tragic ending to an already tragic life, but my hands were tied. We ran. And like the blizzard did that night, we covered our tracks. They submitted the right forms and I followed along. I was there when we lied about the deaths of hundreds. I was there when women and children were being picked off and sent to the chambers. I was there. I remember. With knees on the ground, I send prayers to the sky. Please understand.